Hello everybody, this is Jeffrey GT7 and welcome to the episode. In this episode, I'm going to be using the classic Pontiac Trans AM at Tokyo Expressway with its engine swap. So, quite a special request build. I'll be showing you guys on how to get the car. I'll also go through on how to get the engine swap, explain it on the way as well, share that lovely Mountain Dew livery, of course show you guys the build, and then the race. Without any further ado, let's get straight to the episode. How to get the car? Very simple. Is right now at the used car dealerships. I would recommend go ahead and get that car right now. If you're curious on what the stats are, there they are right there, just in case, if you want to know what the horsepower is, all that stuff. But since we'll get the swap, it won't really matter. But first, before we get the swap, we're first going to go ahead and add the wide body to the car for a small fee of 25,000 credits. So going to go ahead and add that modification to the car, and after we get this into the car, we're going to add the swap. So here's a particular swap that comes with the car, and let's say if you're level 50 like I am in the game, which is a hot pink number on the top of the screen, the LS9 Corvette. It's going to cost you about 160,000 credits, and you can see this is indeed a pretty big buff overall given by the stats on the car. Now let's say if you haven't yet reached level 50 in the collector level, no problem. I'll show you guys an alternative route in order to get this engine. So for example, we're going to go to my personal garage and we're going to choose the TRD Toyota truck. What you're going to do is go to the box tuning parts, and you're going to look out for something like this, the 3UC engine. Now this is just for example, but just make sure that you do in fact see the L9 Corvette. It should be lit up and should have the word compatible on the top of the screen. Just make sure that you are in fact equipped with the Trans AM. Other than that, if you're not equipped with that car, it will not work. So just make sure you look up for a lit up taskbar, look up for the word compatible. After you do that, just make sure you click on it, and it's going to give you this big old paragraph. You're going to basically avoid that paragraph and just say install. It'll ask you, I believe, either once or twice. If you want to go ahead and go and do this action, say yes, and then once you do say yes, you'll then want to use that free engine as a voucher, which is great not only to save credits depending on what engine you're swapping, but also if you haven't yet reached level 50 collector level, this would be a very great opportunity just to give you an idea what this engine swap can do for your car, and most importantly, set credits on your current game. So after you get the swap equipped in the car, let's go ahead now and move over to delivery. Now, if you guys want to follow me in the game, there's my top left profile, Jeffrey GT7YT, and usually I will share my liveries in my newsfeed. So here's this lovely Mountain Dew, our drip livery that I'm going to share with the car. So if you want to go ahead and search the hashtags, there they are right there, just in case if you don't follow me in the game. But this is the particular livery I'm using. Now, there is some special rims that I actually chose for the car, so if you want to go ahead and equip those rims, you can. And here are these rims right here. Just make sure you get Oz Ultra Allegra 15 for the standard size, and the width and the offset to make sure they're set both to wide, and that's going to be it for the wheels. So let's go ahead and check out the build itself. Here's what I was able to really use for my race, and I would say the car actually did handle pretty decently good. It got a little bit loose, so it's going to feel like a little bit like a late model dirt car. It's probably the best way I can describe it, but you can go ahead and copy those numbers, you can. Now if you do have trouble with this particular car at Tokyo Expressway, what I would recommend doing is just save the car and just try them all, just in case if the car is just too loose for your liking. Also, we would do too is go ahead and turn on your traction control on too, or ABS, or there's another option you can turn on just to pretty much help you prevent from spinning out. Here's the other part of the list. All I did here was add weight reduction stages 1 and 2, increase body rigidity, and that's going to be it for the build. Another thing I want to point out too for this build is that since we got ourselves our normal brakes and brake pads, you will have to extremely early brake with this car. Now I would say the good thing about the car is two things. One, it's got to be the speed, and then two, it's got to be the fuel mileage. It does have some really good fuel mileage overall for this car, and then for speed, you should easily be the fastest car on the track when it comes to the top speed game in this particular track. But as you'll see, once we get the first turn, I'll go ahead and give you an example of this braking point As you can see, the number is flashing way earlier than we're accustomed to, so not even making our first checkpoint. And you can see it's just going off the rails. And we're going to go ahead and make contact with the Porsche, which is going to allow us to miss that clearance bonus, which is quite unfortunate because the car is a little bit handful to mess with. So like I did mention before, it's going to have that old late model sprint car dirt feel whenever you drive this car. So if you are a fan of the car being a little bit loose and having to readjust and try to save it, then you might be a big fan of this. If not, like I mentioned before, this would be a great opportune time if you just would back out, save the car, and just use it for the moment, because the speed on this car, it will just absolutely destroy the Group 4s easily. But we're going to continue on, see what we can pull from this particular car. Now the handling is actually pretty decently good considering the rear of the car getting a bit loose. It's just these mid-turn corners seems like to be very smooth and stable. It's just more toward the lower speed corners that's when it really kind of gets a bit loose in the rear, and just really struggling for grip is my opinion. But once you get used to how the car feels, plus with it being the first lap, and obviously the first lap is going to be pretty much your worst lap overall since the track is still a little bit damp. Once the track does begin to dry up, the car will feel a bit better to drive. So heading to this hairpin, we're going to give a lovely kiss to the rear end of the RX-7 rear mirror. As we try to apply power, you can see it just takes us a long time to get back on the full power on that little bit of a turn as well. But once we get to the main straight, all that time we lost, we're going to easily gain back. As you can see, we easily made a pass on the RX-7 rear mirror. As we cross the stripe, we're going to get ourselves a overall decent 222.1 for our lap time. But as you can see, our speed is increasingly going fast up to the low to mid 190s, and right before everything is said and done, we will crack into the 200s. So like I said before, this car is in fact the fastest car on the straights, but given about the handling and the brakes, it's still quite a handful to work with. Fast forward to lap 4, it's going to be our scheduled hot lap for this race. I'll let you guys watch this hot lap, and then we'll get back to our pit stop strategy. Alright, so as we started lap 5, we got ourselves quite a good run on the NSX. We're going to easily bypass and breeze over and past the NSX very effortlessly. As we get to the first turn, like I mentioned before, this car is a rocket, especially on the straights. But since we got a brake so early, you'll begin to notice that the NSX is going to come right back at us. There it is right there. And unfortunately, we'll have to wait till I actually make its pit stop to get the lead back. Fast forward to lap 8. This is going to be our scheduled pit stop. Now, for this particular pit stop, since the tires are still in okay shape, I'll go ahead and get myself a refuel. Even though I would recommend just go ahead and change your tires, because later in the race they will begin to wear off a little bit more faster than they did in the beginning of the race. So I would recommend just change tires. Fuel should be over halfway full, or a little bit past that, and you should be good the rest of the way. So as we get the race finished, it's going to be a 26:37, which is okay-ish. I mean, it's not the fastest car out there in the market for this particular race, but we do know it can get the job done. Not as quick as other cars on the grid, but still successful overall build. A little bit on the challenging side for handling and for braking. So if you want to pretty much challenge yourself, then there you go. Got ourselves that standard bonus, and that's going to be it for the episode. So for our next preview, it's going to be yet another request build, and this time it's going to be a much crazier and faster and more radical type of build. And this particular build is going to be none other than the classic Honda Beat. So this is going to be quite a very interesting, crazy build for this car. I think all the community knows that this car is in fact very stupidly quick around Tokyo Expressway, so I'm going to give my hand at it again, see what I can come up with. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, go ahead and leave a like. If you guys like to support the channel and like to see some of my future content down the road, want to go ahead and hit the subscribe button as well, and turn that bell on for notifications. There's that last episode if you want to check at it too. And with that all being said, hopefully you guys have a great rest of the day or night, and I'll see you guys later, and take care.